Good evening, everyone. It is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. It is a privilege and, of course, a pleasure to be with you guys once again here on the Inspirations for Your Life podcast. Thank you so much. We're over 8,000 downloads. I'm so grateful to all of you. We want to keep those numbers growing. So thank you so much. Really means a lot to me. If you're new here, just go ahead and grab your smartphone, please, and launch that camera app. Point over the QR code like so, touch the yellow lips, and you'll get my link tree as easy as that. If you're not listening to me, but you're watching, I should say, if you're watching and not listening, you can just go to believemeachieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations. We start on a Saturday, we roll all the way through the week, and we finish up on a Friday. I want to thank you, whether you're here at 8:15 p.m. at night, 8:15 in the morning, 12 noon, 12 midnight, or maybe even 4 a.m. or 4 p.m., whenever you watch. Thank you so much for making Inspirations for Your Life a daily part of your motivational diet. All right, everyone, let's get right into this because this is going to be an amazing, amazing show. But before I do that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to share something with you. You asked me what I do, and I'm going to tell you. So I help people tell a story that leads to them growing a more scalable and profitable business. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so let's get right into the master topic, shall we? Here's our master topic for tonight. From training wheels to triumph. Series 2 means we're in the second year, show 38, episode number 2. Wow, that's pretty cool. Actually, very cool if I do say so myself. And I want to talk to you about some interesting points. First point, ladies and gentlemen, is persistence pays off. Persistence pays off. And so whether we're talking about riding a bicycle, whether we're talking about studying, whether we're talking about becoming more healthy, whether we're talking about becoming more financially abundant, persistence pays off. What happens when you keep doing something? You eventually find the information you need to solve your problem. Persistence also pays off. Maybe it's you trying to acquire a new client, and everything you do doesn't seem to work. Well, persistence pays off. Maybe there's one little gem that you forgot about. And I want to share something with you. I think this is really cool. I was actually at they call it a celebration of life for a gentleman in town. And I remember them saying to me that, they were trying to create this situation. And the situation was that they wanted to be able to connect us back to his life. And I thought that was pretty amazing. But I want to share another story with you, and that's from Jimmy Carter. So a while back, when Jimmy Carter was doing his, let's say his efforts to have the peace talks, he was working with two sides. I think it was the Egyptians and the Israelites, if I'm not mistaken. And so both sides, the Egyptians and the Israelites, had broke down and they didn't want to talk anymore, but they still talked to President Carter. So one day he asked them both to come on a drive while they were there. And everything was fine, but they didn't get any further or closer. And so he took pictures of, different things that happened. And then the trip that they had together ended. So he was still in great communication with both parties, but they didn't want to speak with each other. And he reached out to one of the people, one of the sides, and he goes, "I know you're not going to sign the treaty. I know. I tried. But listen, I still have a picture of you, and I just wanted to give it to you and the other party. And I said, coming back, he was saying that this is a really great time we have, and I want to thank you for, at least putting the effort, and I really do appreciate you trying. I guess I was hoping today that by me sharing this photo, I could eventually say that this was a memory of us coming together on the peace treaty. Now, that sounded interesting. When he did that, the other person cried, and they immediately signed the peace treaty, and magic happened. So, persistence does pay off. I want to tell you that persistence pays off. I don't care if it's a skill that you're learning. I don't care if it's a relationship, if it's making money, if it's maybe even just becoming healthier in your life, right? I want you to realize that persistence pays off. I want to go back to a very great inventor of our time, and I've used him many times, but he's amazing, Thomas Alva Edison. Everybody says he found one way that the light bulb worked, but in reality, he actually found 999 ways that the light bulb would not light up. So his persistence and his drive was able to help him come up with a solution. That's pretty amazing, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it's just so amazing. All right. Thinking about persistence in your life. Addressing that persistence with the same ambition, desire, and playfulness that you've had when you were just a single-digit kid. If you can go back to that time and say, how could I be as persistent now as I was when I was a little child? You'll find the answer to your solution, and you'll be very happy that you'll soon be celebrating. So persistence is very important. Another piece that's very important is independence and freedom. Okay? Independence and freedom. When you learn how to ride a bike, you develop a sense of independence. When you learn how to cook for yourself, you get a sense of independence, right? That journey of you going from, riding with those training wheels to those wheels coming off, and then you being able to bike is pretty amazing. And so triumphs happen in so many different areas. Maybe you were trying to learn a skill, and suddenly you just keep persisting. You see, the people that resist actually become frustrated. Not just because they didn't achieve their promise, but because it keeps coming on their mind. That's pretty cool. So independence is pretty powerful. How about the first time that you learned how to drive? You got your independence, and that sense of adrenaline and that feeling of the freedom rush was felt so quickly. And it gave you a newfound sense for not only driving, but for life in general. You could go to the store. You could go to the movies. You could go on dates yourself. You could take a drive if you wanted to, right? There's so many things you could do. You could go shopping. And so independence is something that we as Americans celebrate with our flag, 4th of July. Thinking about your triumph And knowing that it often happens from the journey when you realize that you've become independent, you've mastered the skill. Now, you don't do it for that purpose. You do it because you want to be better. You do it because this is something you want. And I'm here to tell you that I don't care how many people in your life tell you, you can't do this. It's not possible. Maybe not for them, but they don't know you. And so when you start to realize that possibilities are indeed inevitable, when you put the consistency and they are backed by passion. Because then when you achieve those mini milestones or those victories, you know what happens? You get to celebrate a small mini victory. If you were to think in life of a time that you wanted freedom, maybe it was in grade school. And perhaps, I don't know, maybe you were talking in class and the teacher suddenly put you in a timeout. Maybe put you in the corner of the room with a dunce cap on. Or told you that you needed to stand outside the room with your face to the wall and not talk to anyone or look at anyone. When that clock ticked, whether it was 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, it seemed like a long time. But when the teacher or the moderator called you back in the class and you received that sense of freedom back, I bet you behaved differently because you didn't want to lose that freedom. So freedom comes with responsibility. You've heard me talk about that before. So just like the bike, we have a responsibility to ourselves to, when we're pedaling, to make sure that we're staying in balance so we don't get hurt. We have a responsibility to make sure that we don't run into anyone else on the road, that we use our proper signals, like if we hold the right arm up, it's a left. If we point it to the right, we're making a right-hand turn. So when you hear the title, From Training Wheels to Triumph, I know that gives you an amazing sense of purpose. I feel people in our life become more engaged and willing to want to participate or do anything when this is the case. When we feel the desire to do it, right? How many times have you ever gone to the amusement park and maybe before you even get there, you all know what it's like to ride the Tilted World or to ride a certain roller coaster or whatever it is, and now you get to the park, and before you even get out of the car, you're already visualizing what it's going to feel like being on that ride. Then you get on the ride, it's like, oh, wow, right? I think a lot of people get thrown off their tracks because, like we said before, they fall. And they don't realize this lesson that I shared with you last night. If you fall or you fail, you haven't really failed because you haven't quit. So even though there was a minor setback in your life, you have not failed unless you've quit. None of my viewers and listeners here are quitters. We might all become frustrated because something didn't go as the way we expected it to. Or maybe we are not sure how to proceed. That could be a reason. Or perhaps other people are either making fun of us, not supporting us, and we're starting to feel low about that. It's important to remember another rule that I've shared with you many times. No one, ladies and gentlemen, has the right to make you feel inferior about yourself, except for who? One person. That one person, ladies and gentlemen, is, yes, that one person is you. That one person is you. So why do people get so tongue-tied and not be able to, let's say, do anything in their life? It's because they're looking at right now and figuring out, well, I can't do it now. They see all the things happening now, and they don't see what they want happening at the moment. So guess what? They give up. The only difference between a successful person and a non-successful person is the successful person just hangs on a few seconds longer. That's the only difference between a successful person and a non-successful person. And whether you're using training wheels to help you ride a bike, or whether you're getting coaching to help you bake or to master a skill, we all will shed our training wheels soon. And when we do, that's our time to use that freedom responsibly to cultivate the life that we've always envisioned. Hey guys, I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It has been an amazing privilege, pleasure, and honor to be with you this fantastic evening. I hope you'll like, love, support the channel, comment below, tag your friends, colleagues, and associates, share this out with everyone you know on social media. Of course, go to believemeachieve.com, and why not click on that PayPal link, help keep our content free. Make the choice, ladies and gentlemen, to buy my team and I a cup of coffee, a bowl of fruit, or a scrumptious bowl of desserts. Even though we will, of course, use those pennies and dollars to put them very thankfully and gratefully into new hardware, new technology, new software, new facilities, and yes, even new staff, to give you the most amazing, jaw-dropping content that will empower you to want to change your life in a more positive direction. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your night. And remember, before we can become a master, we first must do the training. And once we put in the time and we learn the process, we can celebrate the victory of our success. I hope you guys have an amazing night, and I'm going to catch you guys tomorrow. So be well, everyone, and take care.